Here's 5 investment books I would recommend to people. Number 1 would be Essays of Warren Buffett by Lawrence Cunningham. Number 2 would be Food by Randomness by Nassim Taleb. Number 3 would be Antifragile by Nassim Taleb as well. Number 4, any book on behavioral investing. James Montier wrote a few of them, either the little book of behavioral investing or he has a big book of behavioral investing. And number 5, any book that teaches you industry structure, competitive advantage. Dorsey wrote a few books on that topic. Essays of Warren Buffett is a very important book because what Lawrence Cunningham did, he went back through all annual reports Warren Buffett wrote and edited them because there was a lot of repetition. And basically you have the best non-repetitive insights from Warren Buffett in his words in one book. Number 2, Food by Randomness, because that book was given to me when I was 30 years old. That's probably one of the best gifts I ever received in my life, period. Because that book changed the way I look at the world. You start realizing the role randomness plays in our lives. So that had a huge impact on me. And I think that's one of Nassim's best book because it's the most accessible one. It's very small. It's take you 5 hours to read. And it's the most accessible one. Now, Antifragile, that's the third book. I just love the concept of fragility, anti-fragility, because when I analyze companies, I always think about it. Is that a company that benefits from a lot of chaos, a lot of randomness, or that's a company that would be anti-fragile company, or that's a company that will be devastated by fragility, by harsh external environment, or this company will just get through whatever's thrown, by the external environment and nothing will change. So in my portfolio, when we look at companies, I want to own as many anti-fragile companies as possible, or at least robust companies. What I found about this kind of very interesting nuance, let me give you a couple of examples. So there is this company called McKesson. This is a drug distributor. So there are 3 companies that, McKesson, Cardinal Health, and AmerisourceBergen. These 3 companies dominate the space, like 90% of the market share. All these 3 companies are robust, none of them are anti-fragile, because this industry, like each one of them is very strong, right? And therefore, when, let's say, the industry goes through chaos, their competitors are not any stronger than they are, and therefore nothing changes. Okay, now, let's say you have a company that has a large market share and has a very strong balance sheet, good management, in a very fragmented industry. That company, I would argue, could possibly be anti-fragile because a lot of its players are much smaller and weaker. And when you throw adversity on weaker players, they fall the shop, right? So now, if you are stronger, you can take market share. I'll give you one example. Think about JP Morgan. Okay, the best run bank, right? And I would argue there is some regulatory advantages of it's been so large. But you have the Silicon Valley banks and a whole bunch of other banks going out of business, and they're just buying them for pennies on the dollar. Or think about Warren Buffett. Berkshire Hathaway, first of all, Warren Buffett has this pristine reputation. Second of all, Berkshire Hathaway just generates an enormous amount of cash flows. So during the financial crisis, when there was a lot of adversity, Warren Buffett was able to make these incredible deals that made Berkshire Hathaway at the end tens of billions of dollars because it's anti-fragile. Now I'm going to book number 4. There's a lot of books on this topic, by the way. So there's the one that comes to my mind is the Behavioral Investing by James Montier. In fact, the little book of behavioral investing, because it takes his big book and sums it up, and it makes it short and sweet. I think investing kind of is an intersection of art and science. And it's a lot more about art, actually, than science. Our biggest enemy when it comes to investing is actually ourselves. If we understand our behavioral shortcomings, then we'll be better investors. So I think that's a very important book. The topic in general is very important. I like the books about kind of competitive forces, industry structures, and Dorsey has several books on this topic. And the reason I like them, even though These books are not perfect, and I'm sure Pat, if you write them today, he would change things, etc. But they start making you think about industry dynamics, and I think it's very important when you start doing analysis. So those are 5 books that I would recommend today. Yeah.